murder charges, homicide charges in Arizona. There are a ton of different ways to be charged with the overall offense of homicide. You got first-degree murder, second-degree murder, manslaughter, and negligent homicide. It goes in that order, first-degree murder being at the top in terms of what you're facing. You could be facing life in prison. You could be facing capital punishment. Second-degree, you don't face those same consequences. However, there are still serious consequences that you could face. And then it goes further down for each of the other offenses. There are tons of different ways under first-degree murder statute to be charged with first-degree murder. You don't necessarily need to premeditate, go up and plan to actually stab somebody. There's something in our state called felony murder. If you're engaging, let's say, in a robbery, you and your buddy go in and rob a Circle K. The store owner shoots your buddy when he was trying to commit the robbery. Your buddy is the one who died. You could be charged with that person's murder, that person's death. You could be charged with that homicide. It's first-degree felony murder. You don't have to be the one who actually kills someone. It could also be when you're fleeing. So let's say the person, you and your buddy are fleeing from the Circle K and the store owner comes out and shoots your buddy. It could be flight from the underlying felony offense that could lead to first-degree murder charges as well. And then obviously you got the pre-planned murder that we talked about, or I just talked about a second ago. That's another way to be charged in first-degree murder. Second-degree murder is just a different mental state, and it goes down from there. Yeah, second-degree murder doesn't, we think of it as like a crime of passion, right? It's not necessarily planned. Maybe a guy walks in on his wife and her lover, and in the heat of the moment, crime and passion, pulls out his gun and he shoots the dude who's in the bed and kills him. That could be second-degree murder. It's obviously not premeditated. It's a different type of mental state. And then manslaughter, that's reckless. So it's a reckless type of mental state. You've got intentional, knowing, reckless, and negligent. Those are the different types of mental states in our state that the government would have to prove for certain types of offenses. So you've got the action, and then you've got the mental state. For manslaughter, recklessness is just that you are aware of and consciously disregard a risk, a substantial risk that somebody could be killed, right? So for example, you're a handler, you got a .25, let's say, and you get behind the wheel of a car and somebody ultimately gets killed because of your behavior behind the wheel of the car. You're aware when you get behind the wheel of the car, maybe you're not aware that you get behind the wheel of the car because you're wasted, but voluntary intoxication is not a defense. But when you drink and you get behind the wheel of the car, you're aware of the fact that you're basically in a big death machine. You can kill someone. So that is where the analysis of recklessness comes in for manslaughter. And then under that is negligent homicide. That's the lowest mental state, is negligence in our criminal system here in Arizona. The sentencing exposure again is different. That's the lowest one. There's a ton of different, obviously, defenses, but then also if we go to trial and we're talking about trial, there might be something called lesser included offenses. So if you're going to trial on a second-degree murder, maybe the person's not guilty of a second-degree murder, but they had a reckless mental state, which would mean manslaughter, or they had a negligent mental state, which would mean negligent homicide. So if the jury finds them guilty of the lesser included offense, that's less prison time significantly that they would be exposed to. So give us a call if you need any help. We have significant experience in homicide cases. We're constantly litigating homicide cases, have significant experience with all the different types of forensic aspects of homicide cases.